Hello everybody, today you'll be back in Journal 2. We'll be going over Chapter 10, Part 1. This is Bisananda. Greetings and radiance, Dharma, for another wondrous day has been given unto you by the creation. Treasure each of the gifts, for you have some unpleasant ones to come. So be it. Do not fail to witness the flowers and gifts along the path. I will surrender the alternation frequency to Judas Iscariot, that we not take too much time in idle chatter, for your hands tire quickly enough, and the time span is short, for having this translation finished. Enjoy the honor, however, for it is a great benevolence to allow the entity to clear of this false legacy, and set a record to correctness. Blessings are upon you ones who receive at earth physical plane, and set the direction to permanent record. There will come a day in the twinkling of the universal eye, when men shall find these words, which will be ancient. And again, our world will be changed, for it is experienced to be so. Salute, little sparrow. I grant you strength and accuracy, that you concern not about it. Thank you and graciousness. Judas here to continue through the scrolls. Do not expect the original scrolls, which are in mine hands, to be brought in the original contact, other than perhaps that you and a very limited few can view them. They would be taken and most quickly destroyed by man. However, you shall be given thy credence and credentials, that thy writings may be known as truth. May we do well this day is my quest. Herod and the Baptist. During the day that Emmanuel dwelled in Nazareth, news about him reached Herod. Great speculation had arisen in the land, and Herod was most distressed and told the people, "This surely must be John the Baptist. He has arisen from the dead. Therefore he does possess great and mighty powers." Herod had seized John, bound him, and put him in prison because of Herodias, the wife of his brother Philippus. And subsequently he had beheaded him. It had happened that John had reprimanded Herod, saying, "It is not good that you have taken Herodias, for you have committed adultery with her, and have to be punished according to the law." At that moment he would like to have killed the Baptist, but was afraid of the people, for they considered him to be a prophet. However, when Herod had celebrated his birthday, the daughter of Herodias danced before him, and it pleased him greatly. He was most lustful of her in his foolishness, and he made an unlawful oath that he could give unto her whatever she would demand of him. The young girl acted accordingly to her mother's demands and responded, "Bring me the head of John the Baptist on a platter of silver." But the daughter of Herodias wept when she said it, for she dearly loved John the Baptist and fully believed in his teachings. Now, this is something a little extra that you don't see in your Bible. The real reason behind this, and just because it sounds a lot like your kings today, does it not? Or your president, we will call him. The king Herod was glad that Herodias had persuaded her daughter to demand the head of John, because this way he would not be guilty in the eyes of the people, inasmuch as he had given an oath. But Herodias' daughter, did not realize that Herod and her mother had agreed even before the dance to demand the head of John the Baptist through her. She thought it some type of banter to be enjoyed at the celebration festival. However, Herod immediately sent soldiers and had John beheaded within the prison, and his head was carried on a silver platter and given to the young girl. The girl was overwhelmed with grief, and she kissed the forehead of the head that had been severed. She cried bitterly and said, "I did not know that love could taste so bitter." Then she took John's head to her mother and placed it mockingly at her feet. The disciples of John then came and took the body from the prison and buried it. They then searched out Emmanuel and told him of what had happened. When Emmanuel heard this, he was overcome with anxiety, for his work was not yet finished, and he feared the same fate prematurely. So he went away on a light ship, and to a desert area. When the people heard of this, they followed him on foot from the cities. But as Emmanuel saw the crowds gathered from a distance, he felt great sorrow for them, and entered into a boat from across the water, and came unto them. He went ashore, and healed the sick and the infirm. 5 loaves and 3 fishes. In the evening, the disciples came to him and said, "This area is so deserted, and night is falling. Tell the people to go away so they can go buy food and drink in the villages." But Emmanuel said, "It is not necessary that they go away. Give them something to eat and drink." But they responded, "We have nothing here but 5 loaves of bread and 3 fishes, for we have looked and can find no more." Emmanuel said, "Bring them unto me." He told the people to sit down, took the 5 loaves of bread and the fish, spoke a secret blessing, broke the loaves of bread and the fish, gave them to his disciples, and the disciples gave the food to the people. They all ate and were filled, and when finished, the remaining food was gathered in baskets. The baskets of morsels numbered 12. There were about 5,000 people who had eaten. After they had eaten, Emmanuel asked of his disciples to get into a boat, and to take it over as far as the city ahead of him, until he could dismiss all the people. After he dismissed all the people, he climbed to the crest of the small hillock, where he might be alone for a brief rest, that he might regain his strength, and stayed alone for a time of refreshment. Meanwhile, the ship of the disciples was in the mist in the area of the sea, and was in a great difficulty because the sea had swelled, and the waves were overtaking the boat. A storm had arisen, and the wind was contrary, and they were extremely distressed and fearful. And that'll be it for part 1.